What's going on, YouTube? I'm back from vacation. It's been a long 8 days. I had somebody watching the tank for me. He did a great job. He's a fellow reefer. He's not somebody that has no idea on what's going on. However, there was an issue, which is my fault, that I will get to in a second. But yeah, I was on vacation for a week. I got a little bit sunburn. Ooh. Yeah, that's the best looking part. My shoulders and my back, not so good looking. I always say if I don't get sun poisoning and there's not blisters on my shoulders, then it's not a real vacation. Is that too much information? I don't know. TMI? I don't know. It's too late. You heard it. I'm full of blisters. But anyway, we're going to take a look at the tank, see the good and the bad, and I'll get into depth on exactly what happened. But first, let's just take a look at a short minute or two of my vacation. Alright, so first, we'll take a look at the sump. Nothing has changed, nothing went wrong. The only thing I did to prepare for vacation was, obviously, I left him some auto top-off water in a canister very close to the tank and just showed him how to, you know, lift the lid, fill it up, that kinds of easy stuff. I did, however, I let the filter sock and the pinky pad go for a full week, which wasn't bad at all. I just changed it out and it was totally fine. And what I also did is I took the skimmer and I actually set it more towards the max flow mode so that the bubbles wouldn't rise, just in case of an overflow and the skimmate cup would just be nasty and flow back into the tank. So all in all, the sump was good to go. Alright, so now let's take a look at the tank. The tank made it through any kind of disaster, I guess, that was going on. I live in New Jersey, and last week while I was on vacation, we had a serious heat wave, multiple days in a row, over 100 degrees. So what I did to prepare for that, just in case, is I just took the canopy and I left it open. I just lifted the lid, and it was like that all week, just in case the light fixture put off any excessive heat. And I had the air conditioner over there set to eco mode, so it was running on and off all week while I wasn't home. So the temperature, I don't think the temperature got too much because the AC was working. However, we did lose power for approximately 1 minute, and the neighbors called us immediately. That's my backup plan in case we do lose power, is one of the two neighbors is usually around or home, and they called us and said, hey, power went out for a minute, and I wasn't concerned about 1 minute of power loss. So we're good there. I don't think temperature was an issue. There was some losses and also some gains. So what we'll see here first, let's focus on the glass. So you can see after 8 days what type of algae grows on my glass. Not bad, actually, for a week of not touching it. Actually, 8 full days. I cleaned the glass on Friday, and today you are looking at it. It's Saturday. It's about 4 p.m. So we're looking at 8 days of not touching the tank, and I'm happy with how dirty the glass got. I really was curious to see how bad it would get, and it's not too bad. So let's look at some of the good that has happened while I was gone. So everybody knows that, you know, you don't put your hands in the tank and the corals will like it a lot better. And I agree, because 8 days I could see a huge difference. So we'll look at some of the encrusting corals. Some of the encrusting corals have actually moved right along and grown pretty well. This Fascination Fabia right here has definitely oozed out a little bit more, along with that watermelon Fabia in the back. Now, one of the bads, my Jason Fox jack-o'-lantern back there, it has some clearish white spots on it, almost looks blue. You can kind of see there on the bottom left, it's a little white, kind of bluish. I don't know what's going on with that, but it hasn't looked like that. It didn't look like that before I left, but we'll keep an eye on that and see how it looks. And my favorite acans over here, they look to be just fine. You can see Bob there in the back. For those of you that don't know, I did have to take a pair of scissors and cut a couple pieces of Bob up because I ruined him when I got home from Reef. But other than that, the other corals, or these other acans, look just fine. So this side of the tank, the encrusting corals, the acans, that mushroom in the back there are looking good. Another cool thing is these Superman mushrooms, these two little babies that are in the rocks. I've wanted to fill in this section here with some kind of mushrooms. So I did take the mama mushroom right there, and you can see I did take this disc and put it right up against the rock, hoping that she would walk onto the rock, and it looks like she did. So finally I can get this one out, and I noticed on the back side there's a couple of babies, so maybe I'll just take that and put it up here somewhere and let those walk off down the road. Now coming over to here, you can see we do have a casualty. There is an upside down snail. I'm usually pretty good at looking at the tank all the time and catching the snails that fall upside down. Well, this guy didn't make it, but luckily I have hermit crabs and Nassarius snails, so they took care of his dead body rather quickly. Before I moved, I did take the Reef Spy soft coral here. This is the, I believe this is the toadstool. I forget what it's exactly called, but I really like this guy, so this is going to be a front and center piece. Hopefully he won't get too big for this position, but we'll see. The other encrusting corals are doing well. Sinularia is doing well. Oh yeah, I didn't clean the glass. Should I clean the glass real quick? Let me clean the glass real quick. Alright, so now the glass is clean. Sorry, now the water's a little bit cloudy, but anyway, getting right through it. So yeah, so everything is okay. All the LPS, all the softies, they seem to be good. The rock nems that I bought from Reef, they have moved. Obviously, they're able to move because they're anemones. I know they don't necessarily move all the time, but for some reason, you could see this one here on the side decided to go back towards the cave. And the same with that yellow one in the back there, it's going back towards under the cave. I'm going to leave them guys be. I can still get to them to feed them. There you can see the other one. This is like the red and yellow one. The one in the back is like a green and yellow, and then this one over here is like a red and green. I kind of wanted them to be all next to each other to have a nice little contrast, but yeah, that's not working. So all the Euphilia, all the acans, the mushrooms, encrusting corals, they all survived and thrived. Now, I do have a little issue going on with the zoanthids. You can see here that they're stretching a little bit. I'm not sure why, because they're under the same lighting, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing that. They've never done that before. And, yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, the acro on the top there, the green one, you can see it's missing a big chunk. Big chunk of it broke off before I left. That was my fault. I was tinkering around in the tank and I did hit it. This millie up front does have some white spots. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm not sure what's going on there. The Garf Bonsai seems to be doing just fine. Now, however, the only thing that changed, which was my fault like I was saying before, is there was a serious alkalinity drop while I was gone. I don't think anything could have saved this, a dosing pump, nothing really could have fixed this problem, except for testing the parameters daily like I do. Now, what happened is so Reefapalooza was the week before vacation, and I had quite a lot of bit of coral in here, and I was dosing per what was in the tank. Now, Reefapalooza ended Sunday, and I left for vacation first thing Saturday morning. So I really only had that week to figure out what my new dosing regimen was going to be, and it wasn't really enough. I made a last minute decision. Instead of doing 10 mils a day of alkalinity, I decided to be a little safe and go to 6 mils. And when I came home, the tank was at 6.5 for the alkalinity, which isn't bad in my opinion. But the tank has been steady at 8 for the DKH for the longest time now. So maybe the alkalinity swing is messing with some of the SPS corals up top. I don't know. If something happens to those up there, I'm not really worried about it, because I kind of want to put something different up there anyway. But yeah, that's it for coming back from vacation. So all in all, it was a successful trip. Real quick, if you are watching and you do have, you know, if you're in the mood for a gold fungia, long tentacle fungia, which it's not really long tentacle, so I'm going to say that this one was kind of affected too. But anyway, you guys know that I've been wanting to make room on my sand bed. If you do have the need for, there was a focus. If you do want a gold fungia plate coral, let me know, because I'm actually looking for purple Pacillipora or purple stylo, whatever. I want a good sized piece of it because I want to put it up over there in between. I kind of want to put it where this Mani is, and then move this bird's nest over there. But I kind of want a nice big purple Pacillipora right there. So, if you got a nice big chunk and it's healthy, let me know. Maybe we can meet up and I can give you this gold fungia. So, other than that, that's it. Now, if you have stayed tuned to the very bitter end, which I hope you have, I have a lot of stuff to do this week. I have 2 tank builds coming up, from all the way from the stands to the drilling the tank, all that. Still going to be working on removing this sand bed and picking up some new coral, stuff like that. So, hope you guys are still sticking around and paying attention and listening. I am definitely going to be back to normal at least 2 videos a week for the longest time, because I have a lot of projects going. I have a lot of people that need me to do things for them, and I got to get to it. So next project that you're going to be seeing me starting is little anemone only tank for another YouTuber, which should be pretty cool. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for sticking through to the end, and see you on the next one.